Hi everyone, today we will be discussing about Dakin reaction. It is an organic reaction. It is an organic redox reaction in which an ortho or parahydroxylated phenylaldehyde like 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde or 4-hydroxybenzaldehyde or ketone reacts with hydrogen peroxide in base to form a benzene diol and carboxylate. So what is this Dakin reaction? It is a type of redox reaction. You know what is a redox reaction? The reaction which involves simultaneous oxidation as well as reduction. The reaction which involves simultaneous oxidation as well as reduction is called a redox reaction. So this redox reaction can be seen in Dakin reaction, in which what is the substrate? The substrate used is ortho or parahydroxylated phenylaldehyde. For that an example is 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde or 4-hydroxybenzaldehyde. This is about aldehydes, and if the substrate is a ketone, then also it undergoes Dakin reaction, provided it should have ortho-hydroxy group or para-hydroxy group. With the reagent is hydrogen peroxide in the base. Base is the catalyst to form benzene diol and carboxylate. So we will go through the reaction. As we said, Dakin reaction, it involves conversion of an aldehyde or a ketone to an alcohol. So as you can see here, this is salicylaldehyde, that is ortho-hydroxybenzaldehyde. As we said, the substrate should contain ortho or parahydroxylated derivative. So here we have a ortho-hydroxy derivative. So this is ortho-hydroxybenzaldehyde, also called as salicylaldehyde. And as we said, the reagents are hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, and base, that is alkaline solution. Base is an alkaline solution. You can take sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. So salicylaldehyde in the presence of an alkaline H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is an oxidizing agent. So it converts salicylaldehyde to catechol. Catechol is nothing but benzene 1,2-diol. At first and second position you have a OH group on the phenyl ring. So these are 1,2-diols. So the common name for it is catechol. You can call it as benzene 1,2-diol or catechol, one and the same. And the byproduct is formic acid, HCOOH. Simple reaction: ortho or parahydroxyaldehydes or ortho or parahydroxy acetophenones. So if they are treated with alkaline H2O2, they give 1,2-diols. They give 1,2-diol. 1,2-diol is obtained in case of salicylaldehyde. So if we are taking a ortho-hydroxy derivative, then we get 1 and 2 positions of phenolic groups. So here the substrate is salicylaldehyde. So this aldehyde will be converted to OH. Plus byproduct is formic acid. So coming to the mechanism, how this reaction goes. So as we said, the reagent we employ is hydrogen peroxide in presence of base like sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. You know that base can be represented as OH minus. You can see here OH minus. So hydrogen peroxide is H2O2, HOOH. So the base can abstract any one proton from the hydrogen peroxide, and the bonding pair of electrons are given to oxygen to form HOO minus, peroxide anion. This is called peroxide anion. It acts as a nucleophile. You know that it has negatively charged, it acts as a nucleophile. And this OH minus, which abstracts a proton, will go out as water molecule. So here is the active reagent. This is the active nucleophile which will attack the aldehyde, carbon. So coming to the second step. So the first step was generation of peroxide anion. In the second step, the aldehyde, that is salicylaldehyde, ortho-hydroxybenzaldehyde, when it is treated with peroxide anion, you can see that Here the carbonyl oxygen pulls the bonding pair of electrons to get negative charge, and the carbon gets a positive charge. So when the carbon gets a positive charge, immediately the negatively charged O minus will attack onto the electron deficient carbon. So here there is a new bond formed between O minus and electron deficient carbon. So here you see it is carbon and the oxygen is depolarized, so it becomes O minus, and this carbon is associated with hydrogen. So this is the hydrogen and this is OOH. OOH. In the next step, what happens is this bond is very weak. The oxygen bond is very weak, so it breaks and takes away the OH minus. It goes away as OH minus. The bonding pair of electrons are taken away with oxygen to form OH minus. So immediately when the oxygen is losing its bonding pair of electrons, so immediately there is a rearrangement reaction, like the bond between this carbon and the benzene ring. There is a bond between this carbon, the electron deficient carbon in the previous step, and the benzene. This bond cleaves, and along with the bonding pair of electrons, it migrates to the electron deficient oxygen. And immediately what happens is, when it is migrating, the carbon is losing its valency. So immediately this negative charge repolarizes to form the double bond between oxygen and carbon. So this is how this structure is formed. See here, the benzene will make a direct contact with this oxygen. So here the benzene is making a direct contact with oxygen, and this oxygen is linked to carbon. And as we said, it will repolarize. Write down in your notes, it will repolarize. O minus will repolarize. So it becomes double bond O, and this carbon is associated with a hydrogen. So do not get confused that this is a carboxyl group. This is not a carboxyl group. Why? Because in carboxyl group the benzene ring is linked to C double bond O followed by OH. But here you can see this is linked to oxygen followed by C double bond O. So this is not a carboxyl group. So here this bond is very weak. This bond, the carbonyl group and this oxygen, is very weak. So in the presence of a base, the OH minus will attack onto the electron deficient carbon. See here, once again the bonding pair of electrons will be depolarized. The oxygen pulls the bonding pair of electrons, and then the OH minus will attack over here. So it becomes O minus, and this is the new bond formed OH. And when it repolarizes, the bond will break, so it becomes O minus, phenoxide anion. So this phenoxide anion, when it is treated with water, it becomes OH. So this is about the formation of catechol. And coming to its applications, that is synthesis of hydroquinone, and another thing is 3-methoxybenzene 1,2-diol. So one application we will see for conversion of ketone to alcohol, and another conversion we will see for aldehyde to alcohol. So here, as we said, ortho or para-hydroxy acetophenone, or here ortho hydroxyaldehyde. So these are the two substrates which undergo Dakin reaction. So here 4-hydroxy, this is acetophenone, para-hydroxyacetophenone, the common name, otherwise you can write it as 1,4-hydroxyphenylethanone. So this molecule, it can also be written as para-hydroxyacetophenone. So the other name for this compound is para-hydroxyacetophenone. In the presence of same Dakin reaction conditions, H2O2, sodium hydroxide and water, what we said, if it is para-hydroxylated, then the acetophenone, the ketone moiety, should convert to OH. So here we get hydroquinone. And coming to the next reaction, synthesis of 3-methoxybenzene 1,2-diol. 3-methoxy 1,2-benzene diol. So here the starting material is 2-hydroxy 3-methoxy benzaldehyde. See here 1 2 3. On the third position you have methoxy, and second position you have hydroxy, first position you have an aldehyde. So this is 2-hydroxy 3-methoxy benzaldehyde in the same Dakin reaction conditions, H2O2 sodium hydroxide and H2O. So here the aldehyde group will be converted to hydroxy group, that is phenolic group. So the product is 3-methoxy benzene 1,2-diol. So this is Dakin reaction. This is Dakin reaction. Next reaction is open-or oxidation. Open-or oxidation. So this open-or oxidation is the process of conversion of secondary alcohols to ketones. As we said, what is primary alcohol? RCH2OH. And what is secondary alcohol? RCHOH. As you can see here, this carbon has another hydrogen, so this is CHOH. So this is a secondary alcohol. So secondary alcohols are converted to ketones. As you can see, this secondary alcohol will be converted to ketone, and this acetophenone, this acetone, I beg your pardon, this is acetone. The acetone will be converted to isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. So here open-or oxidation is a process of conversion of secondary alcohols to ketones by selective oxidation. This reaction is named after Rupert Victor Oppenauer. So oxidation reaction takes place in the presence of aluminium isopropoxide. The name is aluminium isopropoxide. I'll write down the name: aluminium isopropoxide. Aluminium isopropoxide in excess of acetone. The solvent is excess of acetone. So here secondary alcohol, when it is treated with acetone in the presence of aluminium isopropoxide, on heating the secondary alcohol is converted to ketone, and ketone is converted to alcohol. Ketone will be converted to alcohol. Acetone will be converted to isopropyl alcohol. How this reaction operates, we will go through the mechanism. So here in the first step, the aluminium the secondary alcohol, the substrate, this is a secondary alcohol, when it is reacting with the catalyst aluminium isopropoxide. So here you can see what is aluminium isopropoxide? AlIPRO taken thrice. So we have IPRO taken 3 times. So here this is aluminium OIPR. So this is taken 3 times. So isopropoxide anion, this will break as isopropoxide anion. It will go out as isopropoxide anion. Immediately the lone pair of electrons on the hydroxy group will attack onto the aluminium. So there is a new bond formed between oxygen OH and aluminium. So aluminium in turn is related to isopropoxide anion, 2 molecules of aluminium isopropoxide. So here, so when the oxygen is forming a bond with aluminium, the valency of oxygen is increased to 3. As you can see here, the oxygen, this is one valency, the other valency is hydrogen, the other valency is with aluminium. So aluminium altogether, oxygen altogether has 3 valencies. So you need to place it with a positive charge. And the isopropoxide anion which is going out, will pick up a proton, which is attached to the OH group, and the bonding pair of electrons are given to oxygen to nullify the positive charge. You know that the oxygen cannot accommodate positive charge, so it has to pull the bonding pair of electrons. So it goes out as isopropyl alcohol. So altogether what do we have? R1C, R2, CH, oxygen, it is linked to aluminium, and this aluminium is linked to 2 molecules of isopropoxide anion. It is linked to isopropoxide anion taken twice. So in the next step, again the acetone, we are taking the reagent, we are performing the reaction in acetone. So excess of acetone. So acetone reacts over here, forming a new bond between oxygen, the ketonic oxygen, it has 2 lone pairs of electrons, it will form a bond with aluminium. So here you can see there is a new bond. This is partially formed bond, but it will be a complete bond in the next step. You can see aluminium still it has 2 isopropoxide anions, and one bond is with oxygen and R1 and R2, and here, as we said, we have a hydrogen, but it is not written here anywhere. We haven't written, but it doesn't imply that it does not have a hydrogen, but this carbon is linked to a hydrogen. There is a significance for this hydrogen, so we have written over here. If you want, you can write starting from the first step. You can place a hydrogen over here, hydrogen over here, hydrogen over here, okay. And then in the next step, what happens is the ketonic oxygen, it depolarizes and it forms a new bond with aluminium. And then this carbon becomes electron deficient. You know that when oxygen pulls the electrons, the carbon becomes electron deficient. So here this hydrogen, along with the bonding pair of electrons from the substrate, will migrate to this electron deficient carbon, So what happens is, and when it is migrating, the bond, this carbon will be losing its valency. Why? Because the hydrogen is going away. So this bond has to cleave, and the bonding pair of electrons will migrate to here. So there is a new additional double bond formed between this oxygen and carbon. So here you can see that the carbon is doubly bonded to oxygen, the hydrogen is lost, and R1 and R2 are intact. So this is formation of a ketone, and here this acetone will be converted to alcohol. As you can see, it is pulling hydrogen, so here we get a hydrogen, and O is linked to aluminium and 2 isopropoxide anions. So when you hydrolyze it, so this becomes AlOH, OIPR taken twice, and this becomes isopropyl alcohol, or also called as isopropanol. So this is the mechanism involved with Oppenauer oxidation. And coming to its applications, conversion of pregnenolone to progesterone. This is the structure of pregnenolone, and this is a sex hormone, progesterone is a sex hormone. So here the significance is we are trying to convert this secondary alcohol. It has a secondary alcohol, that this is CHOH. So the secondary alcohol has to be converted to ketone. So for that we are taking the reagents aluminium isopropoxide and acetone. I beg your pardon, this is acetone and aluminium isopropoxide. So this OH moiety, this is secondary alcohol, will be converted to ketone. So the remaining everything will be the same. So this is the conversion of pregnenolone to progesterone. And the other important reaction is conversion of codeine to codenone. Codeine has OH group. As you can see, this has a OH group. This is a secondary alcohol. It will be converted to ketone. That is the significance of Oppenauer oxidation. So here the reagent is cyclohexanone in presence of aluminium isopropoxide. The remaining everything will be the same. So codeine, it is a cough suppressant. It will be converted to codenone using aluminium isopropoxide. So this is Oppenauer oxidation. So coming to the mechanisms, stop and watch the mechanisms. When I have explained you 2 or 3 times, it will be very clear. If you do not understand, then just revert back to me, I'll clear your doubts. So this finishes off with Dacquet reaction as well as Oppenauer oxidation.